How much money do you have?
None.
Really?
What's up, guys? Bowtied Owl here. So today we've got Kevin Spacey being interviewed by Piers Morgan, telling us a story about how he's bankrupt now. It's kind of sad, but there are some key things that stand out to me that tell me that maybe things aren't quite what they seem. We'll break that down here and find out the truth. As always, smash that like button and subscribe for more content. Let's get started.
Where do you live now?
Well, it's funny you asked that question.
Okay, so Kevin has asked right from the start, where do you live now? And he sits with his head down. He scratches his nose while sniffling, appearing to cry. Shortly after, he gathers himself, and the crying stops almost immediately, with his tone returning to normal. Overall, this behavior indicates possibly a highly controlled, manipulative performance. The brief display of emotion, followed by a quick recovery, is typically someone skilled in acting or deception, which Kevin Spacey is. The nose scratching, often associated with lying, reinforces the impression of deceit. His rapid shift from apparent distress to composure suggests he's using these emotional cues strategically to manipulate perceptions and elicit sympathy from the audience. Let's keep going, but I want you to ask yourself, have you ever been able to recover this fast after breaking down like this? Listen to the tone of voice and look at his eyes. You'll notice that throughout the video, he looks down and away from the camera as to not show his face or eyes. Then, when he looks up to face the camera, he always has this persona change. Keep an eye out for it.
Because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
Okay, one more brief interjection here. So we see one really solid cue, and that is of him looking down and adjusting his glasses right after he says his house is being sold at auction. He might be feeling uneasy or hiding something here. Looking down often indicates discomfort or guilt, which could imply that he's not being entirely truthful about a situation. Adjusting his glasses can be a self-soothing gesture or a way to create a brief distraction, giving him a moment to compose himself. He might be just using the subtle actions to manage his appearance and control his narrative.
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in 2012.
So this has been your home for 12 years?
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Okay, so order of operations is important here. So Kevin is describing this being his first home first, and then remembers to mention somebody named Evan and somebody named Lucy. I presume this is his manager and manager's wife after doing some research, but I'm not sure. While it seems like a normal thing to say, he doesn't have kids and he's not married, so it's a bit odd to have someone else living in your home, but it is a mansion, so it could be a thing. What is important is that this kind of statement can humanize a person in the eyes of public and possibly garner support or leniency. Now, also consider that when he says this, he's looking up and to the right, his left. Now, according to NLP, looking up and to the right indicates that he might be fabricating or embellishing details. By mentioning Evan and Lucy, he attempts to humanize himself and elicit sympathy, possibly to gain support or leniency.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today.
How much money do you have?
None.
Really?
So Kevin has now asked, how much money do you have? And we see another glance up and to the left, his right. We also see him miraculously recover from crying again and sternly say, none, finishing it off with an asymmetrical sniff. You only see one side of his face move here. This behavior underscores a controlled and potentially deceptive performance. Glancing up and to the left, like we covered earlier, associated with fabricating information rather than recalling facts, suggesting that a statement about having no money might be untruthful. The rapid recovery from crying to a stern tone highlights his ability to manipulate his emotions and appearance, typically of someone skilled in deceit. The asymmetrical sniff further indicates discomfort or deceit, reinforcing the impression that he is using these cues strategically to manipulate perception and responses.
Well, I mean, you have some sense of legal bills.
Yeah.
I still owe a lot of legal bills that
You're
I have not been able to
you're
pay.
actually in debt.
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
It's considerable.
Millions?
Many millions, yes.
And now he's asked how much debt is he in, and again, he hasn't been sobbing or crying this whole time. He turns it on and off miraculously, almost like he's an actor or something. It's incredible. Anyways, he's asked that. We notice he adjusts his glasses again, gives us another sniff. Again, notice how he's looking down and away from the camera. We then get a new cue we haven't seen yet, which is him ironing his tie with his hands. All of this is before he answers with millions. I'm in millions of dollars of debt. Here's what it means. Adjusting his glasses and the sniff suggests nervousness or deceit. Looking down and away from the camera indicates he might be trying to avoid the direct scrutiny, a common tactic when feeling guilty or uncomfortable. Stroking his tie is a less overt subconscious gesture for self-soothing, typically used during times of elevated anxiety. It substitutes for touching a body part and signals his discomfort. These combined cues strongly suggest that his answer of millions may not entirely be truthful, and he is using his body language to manage perceptions and responses strategically.
The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse.
And there we have it. What are you going to do? He's asked. And we see him invoke the hero response. Both hands clenched, and he says, get back on the horse. I'm going to get back on the horse. The clenched hands suggest determination and attempt to convey inner strength and resolve. By invoking a hero response and using the phrase, get back on the horse, he aims to project resilience and courage. But look at the picture right now. Does that look like resilience and courage, or does that look faked? You decide. This could be an effort to drum up emotional support or sympathy, potentially leveraging the situation to garner positive attention for a new show or personal venture. Maybe for the docuseries that just aired. His body language and verbal cues appear strategically designed to manage perceptions and evoke a supportive response from the audience. That wraps up the analysis. So throughout the interview, Kevin's body language reveals a highly controlled and potentially manipulative performance. His actions, such as scratching his nose, adjusting his glasses, glancing away, the sniffing, they all consistently suggest discomfort, nervousness, or deceit. These cues are often associated with fabricating information or managing appearances to elicit specific reactions from the audience. This is what Kevin does for a living. Give the video a like, hit subscribe, and make sure to go grab your free copy of Read the Room. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching.